You know the vibes. Welcome back to another episode of the Hoop Genius podcast. For you guys who want a weekend episodes, this weekend I guess is your special day. It was my birthday earlier in this week, so here's my gift to you. You got an episode today, you got an episode tomorrow, and BJ's coming back on Monday or Tuesday, and we'll be back to regular scheduled programming. Today's interview was a monumental interview. I'll tell you a little bit of a personal story before we get into it. This interview was with the one and only Shaquille O'Neal. Now, if you haven't yet seen it, you can watch it. It was on Sky Sports. They show it during halftime between the games. You can see it on In the Paint, my show on Snapchat, if you use that. I'll put it on my YouTube channel as well. Why not? But Shaquille O'Neal is one of the not just greatest on-court players of all time in the NBA, but off the court as well. He's one of the most recognized NBA players in the world ever. I'll put it to you like this. My mum does not really know what I do. She doesn't really know anything about basketball. But when I told her I met Shaquille O'Neal, even she was gassed. That's how big this interview was for me personally. So I just wanted to take this chance to say thank you to each and every one of you who listens to the show, who supports this show, who subscribes to this show, who shares this show with their friends, because you guys make all of this possible. And I need to have a proper, I need to talk to Shaq for 5-6 hours. But here's just a little snippet of our conversations from before the season began. This one was big, I can't lie, I was gassed. And I've never felt so small in my life. Shaking hands with Shaq, you guys have got to watch the video because my hand looks like a child hand. It's insane. The legendary Shaquille O'Neal. This was a very early morning that we did this interview. So we need to link up again in the future and get it done properly. Without further ado, enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, we are with the one and only man who needs no introduction. The Big Diesel, the Big Shamrock, the man of many nicknames, Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq, we're here, Bucks and Hawks, NBA in Abu Dhabi. If you had to give a nickname to Giannis Antetokounmpo, I know you gave him your Superman nickname, but would you give him a new nickname and what would it be?
No, I like his nickname. I like people with originality. Like Greek Freak, that's legendary. You know, I gave him the title Superman because of how he plays. Not because of what he does, he plays hard. And it's all about him, it's all about his team. He doesn't want to team up with the other great stars. He's not like, you know what, I'm not going to Miami, I'm not going to LA, I'm playing in this small town of Milwaukee and I'm going to win here. And you got to respect that. So I definitely respect his game. Plays hard. So I call him the Superman. All these other fake Supermans can't even compare to what, he's done.
He's absolutely an amazing talent right now in the NBA, and there's lots of big talents. Do you have a pick for MVP this season coming up?
Well, the season hasn't started, but he's definitely going to be trying to make a name for himself. LeBron's going to be trying to make a name. LeBron has a lot at stake. I ask people, once he passes up the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and I wish I was in this position, will he be anointed as the greatest player ever? Great conversation, so. He needs to average 16 points a game to pass up Kareem, which hasn't been done in a long time. So he's going to be looking to have a fabulous year. Steph's coming back. Ja Morant's making a name for himself. So the league is at a good place. You got 10 to 15 big-name players that can, carry the league at any point in time.
Obviously, you being the most dominant big man of all time, or one of the most dominant big men of all time, depending on your opinion, the NBA went through a phase of prioritizing a lot of perimeter shooting and a lot of small ball kind of stuff. But now we're seeing a few teams go back to having more traditional lineups with two big men on the court at one time.
Yeah, but they're not playing like big men. They're still picking and popping and shooting jumpers. The only thing that I don't like about the games today is that every team runs the same plays. They don't even have plays. It's just run, get you the ball, pick and roll, switch on defense. At some point, you got to have strategy. It works for Golden State because they have those type of players, but everybody can't shoot like Steph and Clay. So you would think that some teams would slow it down and utilize what they have. Back then, the non-talented teams can still compete because they utilize what they had. Utah didn't have a lot of talent around them, but they had that pick and roll, which kept them in the games, which took them to the finals twice where they lost by the Bulls. But, it's all about strategy. I see a lot of teams playing checkers as opposed to playing chess.
If we could put a prime Shaquille O'Neal in the NBA today, which team?
I'd make, it don't matter what team
I know, but which team would you want to play on? Who would you want to play alongside?
Whoever drafts me. I won't play along nobody. because I grew up watching karate movies, and at some point the student must kill the teacher, and I want to kill them all. Because, you know, when you come from nothing and people tell you can't make it, you want to prove everybody wrong. So I'm not trying to team up. Like if I get drafted by a team and they put me on a team, cool, but I'm not going to say, I want to play with him, I want to play. No, I want to go against him. I want to beat him. I want to kill him.
Do you think that players today still carry that same mentality?
No, I think it's so much pressure because of social media and all that they find easier ways to win. Like if you're, you know, inside the system and you get traded to a place, or, you know, you get drafted to a place, that's how it was originally done. But, you know, all these free agents teaming up with each other, guys like Isaiah and Dominique, myself, we don't really respect that. I like to see people compete. You know, if I knew it was okay, I would have teamed up with Michael Jordan when every time the Bulls beat us. If I knew it was okay, I would have teamed up with the San Antonio Spurs and played with Tim and David Robinson. But I said, nope, I want to go through the trials and tribulations. I want to learn how to become a champion.
So you mentioned how much respect you have for Giannis's game. Which other players do you see with a similar mentality that you really admire and respect?
Joker, John Morant, Steph, Clay, you know, all the top players pretty much get my respect. You know, they play their own style, they play their own way. But, you know, the fact when Giannis came out and said, I'm not going to a big city, I'm not teaming up with people, I was like, that's how I used to think.
All right, well, Shaq, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you.
Thank
and
you.
Enjoy the rest of the time in Abu Dhabi.
See you soon, inshallah.
Inshallah, my brother. Thank you guys for tuning in. Once again, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you stay locked in. BJ's going to be back soon, and we're going to be back to normal episodes, so don't go anywhere. Appreciate each and every one of you. Hope you're having a great weekend. Most importantly, get buckets.